Exposing the truth in Buckingham Palace, Harry's titles are on the line. The House of Lords is making moves to strip Harry of his royal status. Yep, constitutional showdown time.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phoney.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
She slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her again.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honour to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the king in this ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
I knew something big was coming the second the whisper started in Westminster. At first, it felt like just another headline. Prince Harry versus the Crown, round 100. But then, boom, a petition, and not some Twitter rant or celebrity meltdown. This was inside the House of Lords, a direct hit from Britain's political elite. This time, it's not gossip, it's not PR, it's a real plan to strip Harry of his royal title, the last thing linking him to the family he walked away from. And if you think this is just for show, think again. This is about power, about legacy, about whether you can torch every royal bridge, run to California, cash in on your name, and still keep the crown's title.
I would love reconciliation with my family. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah. But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches, she has got to, the Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I envy it.
Lady who's very popular for being awful.
Prince William, he's reportedly furious after it emerged that Meghan Markle is still using her HRH title, despite agreeing to drop the title when the Sussexes left royal duties.
I think Meghan Markle has been very brazen recently with the use of the HRH.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Harry and Meghan, they have an issue when it comes to their memory and when it comes to the truth. She is relentless, she is shameless, and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur.
Years of tension and public drama have led to this. Almost 2/3 of Brits want their titles gone.
Isn't a family fight anymore. This is a constitutional war, and the country that once adored him, the boy behind Diana's coffin, the soldier prince, now they're watching him get torn down, not by tabloids, but by Parliament itself. What started as Megxit is now a full-blown crisis of loyalty and identity. And if this petition passes, Harry doesn't just lose a name, he loses his last connection to the monarchy. So buckle up. This isn't some Netflix drama. It's real, it's historic, and it's getting ugly fast. When I first heard it, I thought, no way, this has to be clickbait. But it's not. This is the House House of Lords, the engine of royal tradition, moving to strip Harry of the Duke of Sussex title.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
This isn't some social media backlash. This is a strategic takedown by senior lawmakers who don't play games. They make history. And here's the kicker. Harry's furious, not annoyed, not shocked, absolutely raging. Because that title, it's his golden ticket. It gives him clout in Hollywood, in business, in every room he walks into. Take it away, and you take everything. This isn't a warning shot. This is the first domino in a full-scale collapse of Harry's royal identity. And watching Parliament move like this feels like the establishment is finally saying enough. The prodigal prince is about to get cut off for good.
We'll see King Charles do this because he's not confrontational. I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren in Omid Scobie's book. So I think he's going to continue to tiptoe around.
This isn't just one MP on a mission. This is turning into a national takedown. The petition, it blew up. Tens of thousands of people signed it within days. From Sussex to Scotland, people across the UK are rising up. And this isn't just noise anymore. It's a movement. And Parliament, they're not sitting back. They're stepping in. Both the Lords and the Commons. Not just signing off, pushing it forward. That's when I realized this is real. It's not for show. It's got bite. They're using a law so old it was last pulled out during World War I, the Titles Deprivation Act of 1917. Back then, it stripped royals of their titles for siding with the enemy. And now, they're saying what Harry's done is not treason on paper, but it feels just as bad.
But of course, the real measure of success of both of them will be the same as it always has been. How much damage can they inflict on our royal family, on our monarchy? I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them, as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags with a permanent victim complex, knowing that victimhood is what makes them all the money.
People are fed up watching someone trash the crown while still cashing in on its name. This isn't just about disrespect, it's a targeted takedown of Harry's last real connection to royalty. What started as public rage is now turning into official action. And when Parliament and the people are this aligned, one thing's for sure, there's no turning back.
What's next? If the House of Lords and Commons agree, Harry loses his royal highness.
But Kinsey, you recently interviewed a friend of the royal family, Hugo Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone with them. Let's just take...
There is no trust when it comes to Prince Harry. And the picture he tries to paint with Queen Elizabeth, even saying during that BBC interview that the Queen wanted him to have this level of security, we're finding out the truth. And it's that she was bothered by them.
Now here's where it all goes off the rails. Harry didn't just leave the UK for peace and quiet. He got loud, way too loud. And not just with interviews. He dove headfirst into American politics. That's a huge red flag. Royals are supposed to stay neutral. But Harry, he slammed the First Amendment, cozied up to partisan groups, and backed causes that go against everything the crown stands for. The same crown that gave him his title. And now, lawmakers are using a brutal phrase, title laundering, meaning Harry's using his royal status to push political agendas overseas. That's not just embarrassing, and it's a serious constitutional threat. British royals don't mess around with American elections or culture wars, but Harry's doing exactly that, while still calling himself the Duke of Sussex.
Now, Meghan, just last week, she did her first long-form sit-down podcast interview. She showed a basket that she had sent to the host of the podcast as a thank you for allowing her to come on. And here you can kind of zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex.
And it's not whispers anymore. MPs are going public, asking the big question, why is a foreign duke messing with US politics? This isn't just bad manners. It's dangerous. Because if royal titles become political tools, the whole system could collapse. Harry thought he was just speaking his mind, but Parliament, they saw it as a warning shot, and now they're firing back with laws, with history, and with fury.
Major breaking news out of London. Buckingham Palace announcing Harry and Meghan will no longer formally represent the Queen. That means they will no longer receive public funds and they will stop using their royal titles. Those changes will take effect this spring. So Katie Nicholl is now joining.
It's my pleasure. It's a big news story. As you can imagine over here, it really has, well, the phone hasn't stopped ringing, put it that way.
And in terms of your initial reaction to this latest news, that in fact it feels like it's a full removal in the sense of not just senior royal duties, but
if there's one thing Harry's clung to since ditching royal life, it's his obsession with tearing down the monarchy. From that explosive Oprah interview to the Netflix series to his tell-all book Spare, it's like he's turned family betrayal into a full-time job. At first, people were curious. They listened. But now, even his biggest supporters are backing away. He's thrown everyone under the bus. His dad, his brother, his stepmother, even the late Queen. That's not healing. That's burning everything to the ground. And now Parliament's saying what so many of us have thought. You can't burn the royal house down and still expect to keep the keys. It's clear Harry's using his title as a shield, keeping the royal shine while launching attacks from his California mansion. But that game, it's over. These constant public hits have crossed a line. MPs are calling it symbolic treason. Not a crime, but a total slap in the face to the very system that gave him that title. The monarchy stayed silent for years, but now Parliament's done waiting. This is them finally speaking up, and they're not holding back.
A progressive new role within the royal family. While the royal family does modernise, I mean, the Queen sends tweets, it is an age-old institution, and I think that idea of tradition and everything we expect of the monarchy doesn't quite sit well with that idea of
what the monarchy means for the monarchy.
Well, people are talking about it being a constitutional crisis, and I'm not sure it is a constitutional crisis. I mean, through circumstance and the Cambridges having 3 children, Harry slipped down from being the spare to the heir to the 6th in line.
Let's be real. Harry's reputation in the UK is crashing hard. The latest polls, 62% want his title gone. Among older and conservative voters, it jumps to over 70%. Even Labour supporters, usually more forgiving, and say he's crossed the line.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the King in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
But here's the real gut punch. People in Sussex, his own dukedom, are flooding the petition with signatures. One elderly woman put it perfectly. He doesn't represent us anymore. He represents himself. That line hit me because it's the truth. Sure, Harry's still a star in America, but back home, people feel flat out betrayed. Not because he left, but because he left, trashed the monarchy, and still profits off the royal brand. You can't have it both ways forever. And now, even his supposed base has turned their backs.
Meghan could follow suit. This might end the Sussex's royal chapter forever.
This isn't just about one scandal. It's the weight of years of interviews, leaks, and media tours, all aimed at the crown. Public opinion hasn't just shifted, it's collapsed. The British people are done. They're saying, you left, you attacked us, and now we're cutting you off. Parliament isn't acting alone. They're echoing a message that's already roaring through the streets.
There has been a crisis in the Windsors, not least how the Sussexes chose to release this news, but also the narrative that we've had in the fallout, that the couple were very unhappy, that apparently it was a very toxic environment, particularly for Meghan.
Brothers surrounding Prince Harry and Prince William, and what this change in senior roles for Harry and Meghan means for that particular relationship.
Let's not sugarcoat it. Harry and Meghan didn't step back from royal life. They turned it into a business. Every deal they've made, Netflix, Spotify, even kids' books, is stamped with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, not Harry and Meghan. The royal branding is front and center. That's not subtle. That's strategy. And the UK has had enough.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about? What stakes?
Critics call it title trafficking, using royal clout to sell books, shows, and their image, while pretending to live a private life. Even their kids have titles, while they preach about stepping back. The hypocrisy? Loud, and people are done ignoring it. This wasn't an exit, it was a calculated brand move. And now Parliament is stepping in, saying, if you want the fame and the cash, drop the crown. In the UK, titles aren't clickbait. They're supposed to mean something. Harry's turned his into a marketing gimmick. And for many, that's not just cringe, it's disrespectful. And here's where it gets even more ruthless.
Now, a staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
While Parliament moves to strike, Buckingham Palace is silent. King Charles isn't defending Harry. He's standing back, letting the system do the dirty work. He doesn't want to look like a father punishing his son. He wants this to come from the institution. It's all optics. And Prince William, reportedly he's done. No objections, no sympathy. Behind the scenes, he's giving a silent thumbs up. Because to him, this isn't just family. This is about protecting the crown. Imagine it. Harry walks into an event, and instead of His Royal Highness, he hears Mr. Harry Windsor. That's not just a title change, that's a brand collapse. If Parliament succeeds, Harry loses everything that ties him to royal power. The influence, the status, the mystique, gone. And what's left? A man known more for drama than duty. Their entire brand, the interviews, the deals, the documentaries, it's all built on a royal illusion. Strip that title away, and they're just two celebrities selling pain, not legacy. And Parliament knows it. This isn't just about tradition, it's about cutting the power at the source. And yes, it's happened before. In 1917, King George V used the same law to rip titles from royals who backed enemy nations. And just recently, Prince Andrew lost everything after the Epstein scandal. No one is above the institution. The logic is simple. If you attack the crown, you don't get to wear it. MPs are saying, he's not one of us anymore. And honestly, they're not wrong.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
How can someone trash the monarchy, profit off it, and still keep the titles? Parliament has the law, they have the public, and now they're making their move. This won't end in scandal headlines. It'll end in cold paperwork, centuries-old halls, silent votes, and legal motions that carry the weight of a kingdom. And when that title is gone, so is the fairy tale, so is the shine, so is the illusion. Harry may soon learn the hard way. When you walk away from the crown, you don't get to wear its jewels. After the interviews, the memoirs, the podcasts, the lawsuits, this could be it. A centuries-old system slamming the final door. And honestly, it's poetic. He didn't just walk away. He lit the bridge on fire, then tried to sell the ashes. But now, the same institution he mocked is pushing back, with the one thing that can't be bought: legitimacy. Strip the title, and what's left? Not a prince, not a hero, just Harry, a controversial name, fading fast. He tried to become a global voice, a truth teller, a victim, but in the process, he may have become something far worse: irrelevant. This petition isn't just about titles, it's a final judgment, not from tabloids, but from the people he claimed to represent.
With King Charles on his way out, Prince William is expected to take over the crown. And apparently at the top of his list is to say, "Peace out, Meghan, you're done." And he plans to formally strip Meghan Markle of her royal title.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honour to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
And now, they're shouting back, "You don't represent us anymore." And maybe, for the first time, Harry doesn't get the last word. The crown is quiet, but it's speaking. Through Parliament, through silence, and through action. And what comes next might just bring the whole house of cards crashing down.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Harry keep his titles? Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more royal updates. Stay curious and stay royal.